What's good, geeks? I'm Jake. I'm Gen X.
I'm Anna. I'm Gen Z.
And we are
Generational
Geeks. Today we are reviewing
Umbrella Academy Season 1.
Yes, because there is a Season 2, but this review is just going to be for Season 1. And it'll be mostly spoiler-free until the end. We'll do a little bit of a spoiler open discussion type thing at the end, but we'll say spoilers.
Yeah, like happens. 5 times, because some people don't want to listen. And we'll still probably get comments like, you spoiled it.
Maybe. So this series, this is a Netflix original series, and it is based off of a comic book, which I have not read.
Neither of us have.
Yeah.
It looks cool, though. Yeah.
And it seems like it's fairly accurate to the source material. Mm-hmm. So, some of the cast, we have Ellen Page, who was in X-Men. She was Kitty Pryde.
Oh! Oh my god!
She was on Inception, which I don't think you've seen that.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But I didn't know she was Kitty.
Tom Hopper, he was in the new Terminator movie, Dark Fate, which I don't remember much of that movie. It was so bad, so I don't remember him in that either. Too? He was in Game of Thrones. He was, like Dickon something or other. Sam's brother, I think.
What?
Sam's brother.
Sam's brother.
Yeah. Dickon Tully, I think is who he was. Tully, whatever. And Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige, who she's a singer and she's in a bunch of different stuff, but she had a pretty big role in Season 1.
Is she the handler?
No.
Who is she?
She's Hazel's partner.
Oh, Cha-Cha. Okay.
Cha-Cha, yeah.
Yeah. You're like naming off names and I'm like, who are these people? The only one I really recognized was Ellen Page.
Well, yeah, she's
Vanya.
Yeah, and then
Tom Hopper.
He's number 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I know who you're talking about.
Yes. Which I don't remember his name in the show.
No. Neither do I.
He was number 1.
He wasn't in there for very long, though. He was in, like, a few episodes. Not many.
Of
Game of Thrones.
Right, but I don't remember his name in Umbrella Academy.
Oh, Luther?
Luther, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying...
I told you his name. It was Dickon Tully.
Yeah, I don't know.
He got... Spoiler for Game of Thrones, he got fried by the dragon.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
She was all like, Dracarys, and it was like...
Yeah, exactly. So, this show, like I said, is Netflix original. It's rated TV-14 for violence, suicide, fear, substance usage, language, smoking. So definitely not for kids or preteens. And it is listed as a sci-fi TV show. Yeah.
It was released in February of 2019, a much better year. We watched it like a month before its release, and then
a month after.
A month before its release. Yeah, we were
just got it like
that. A month after its release, and then again right before Season 2 came out.
Yeah, so we watched it probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
We watched it for a second time. So.
A month ago, not a month later.
Yeah. So we wanted to refresh ourselves for Season 2, which there were some things that I picked up on the second time through that I didn't
and
catch
stuff that
the
I
first
remembered.
time. Yeah. I don't have any specific examples anymore because it's been a month since I've seen it. So
I was happy we got to see the dance sequence again.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So this show revolves around 7 siblings, 6 siblings plus part of the 7th sibling. No, I was thinking Ben.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
So they all have special powers. So the premise is, what was it, 49
49
babies were born to
women who weren't pregnant before the day had started.
Yeah. So then, like, the
Reginald
pregnancy
Hargreaves.
and the birth and everything takes place in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then this guy goes and buys 7 of them.
Yeah. He can only get his hands on 7.
Yeah. So he names them 1 through 7.
And then they come up with their names.
Well, I think the mom.
Grace?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mom
The
names them.
Robo-Mom.
So, the dad dies in the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I think number 5 comes back in the first episode.
You mean number 1?
No, number 5. The little kid. Yeah. So number 5 comes back and reveals to them that there's an impending apocalypse, like in the next 10 days or something like that.
Yeah, it's
like a week.
I think
maybe it was 3 days. I don't know.
something like that.
Yeah.
4 days, maybe.
So it has a good premise. You know, if you like
superhero-y stuff.
It's superhero-y, but it's dysfunctionally superhero-y because all these kids
realistically superhero-y
were raised in this house with this guy who wasn't really a parent.
Yeah, he wasn't very much so.
It's more of a taskmaster, and he pimped them out for their superpowers.
He was like, I'm gonna get famous off these guys.
So I think this had some good plot twists.
Yes.
Some of them were obvious and some of them not so obvious.
Yes.
So there were a couple of little things that I didn't see coming, but then some that you definitely saw coming.
I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The first few episodes were good enough to get us hooked and wanting to watch more, which is good for any show.
Yeah. Well, we watched it probably like in 2 or 3 days. It didn't take long to watch. No. It's only 10 episodes.
Is it 8 or 10?
I think it's 10.
Okay.
So.
Either way, it's like, what would you say? 20 or 40 minutes? How long?
No, they're like episode? 45 minutes to 60 minutes.
Yeah.
So the performances, they were all good. You know, there were a couple that were a little over the top, but I think that was the intent of those characters.
Yeah. They were all good actors and actresses.
Yeah,
so.
They played the roles really well. And I think it was really well written.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch.
Good actors given a good script, so.
Yeah. And
especially Klaus.
Seems like the source material is good.
Yes.
So. For me, negatives, it was a little short. I know Netflix does these 10 episode series and it
leaves you wanting more.
Yes. And then when you have to wait 1.5 years between seasons, it gets a little annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what's that character's name again? Who are you? Where did you come from?
Yeah.
Are you from the first season? Do I know you? Am I supposed to?
Well, that's why I think you have to watch it again, the previous seasons. So, you know, season 2 came out. We decided to watch it again. Kind of when they released a trailer for season 2, we decided we wanted to watch season 1 again.
Because that's just what we do.
For me, I think season 1, I'm going to give an 8.5. And, you know, I'd probably watch it again in the future. I mean, I've already watched it twice. And if and when they do release a 3rd season, I'll probably watch it before then. What about you?
Probably the same rating.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. That's a very good rating for it, an 8.5.
Yeah.
So, overall, it was a pretty good show.
Yeah.
We recommend it.
Definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
I have recommended it to lots of people. So,
yes.
Watch it.
We recommended
if you haven't watched it,
this weekend.
watch it. Yeah.
We made people watch it. We were like, watch the show. And they're like, okay.
So, spoilers.
Yes. Spoilers. Hey. You that hasn't seen it yet, get out.
Go watch it.
Or stay if you don't care. But get out.
So earlier we talked about number 5 coming back because he had traveled into the future from when he was like 13 years old.
Yeah.
So he'd been gone for like 14 years or something like that. Out of his siblings' lives.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was gone for way longer than that.
Yeah. But he traveled to the future from like the 1990s. Yeah.
When the apocalypse had.
Or early 2000s.
Yeah.
And he traveled to the future like right after the apocalypse happened.
Yes.
And he saw the bodies of
his brothers and sisters, and it was in like the wreckage of the academy itself.
Yeah.
And he found his brother Luther, aka number 1, holding a glass eye. And throughout the series, his arc is trying to find who the eye belongs to, because he believes that they're the one that started the apocalypse.
Yeah, or at least were fairly involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
I liked number 5's arc probably the best, just because it was the most interesting. Obviously, he traveled into the future, and then he spent, what would you say, 40 years?
Yeah, I was going to say 40.
In the future. So,
40,
and then
45.
he's approached by the handler, and she talks him into working for her organization.
And her organization it deals with time, and if something gets out of line, with how the timeline is supposed to be going, then they're sent to fix it.
Yeah. And then he decides to quit and figures out a way because when he traveled to the future, he wasn't able to travel back to the past because he didn't know how. And then he figured out how to travel back to the past on his own.
Using one of their...
No, it was his power.
Oh.
He left the briefcase. Remember he was always trying to get a hold of briefcases?
Yeah. Okay.
So he time traveled from like 1963 back to present time of 2019, where he was an old man in 63, and then
when he was trying to get back, and then when he came back, his calculations were off, so he got stuck in his 13-year-old body.
Yeah, but he kicked butt.
Yes,
and that's where like Hazel and Cha-Cha come in. They work for the handler. And
they were sent to fix his mistakes.
Well, they're just sent to take him out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then they're supposed to not take him out because the handler's like, nah, I won't keep him.
Yeah. I would have liked to seen more on Luther's backstory and more on some of the missions that they did. So I think they could have thrown in a couple more episodes and focused on them a little bit more when they were kids.
Yeah.
And then kind of what broke the family up.
I wanted them to focus more on Ben.
Yeah, Ben was a cool character. He
had one of the coolest powers, I think. And it wasn't even really elaborated on.
He was dead. And
we don't know how he died.
No. Sounds like he died during a mission. And Klaus, who could see dead people.
Yeah, that's his power. He's the kid from The Shining. Except he kind of learns how to control it.
Yeah,
so
through the season.
Yeah.
I don't think he really had control over it.
No, not at first.
So that's where the drug usage and the rating comes in, because Klaus likes to self-medicate so that he doesn't see dead people. But Ben's always there with him.
Yes.
And kind of tagging along on his shenanigans. Trying to talk him out of shenanigans.
And by the end of the season, he kind of learns how to use the dead people around him to fight, so like they can start interacting with stuff. Yeah,
but I would have liked to seen a couple episodes of focus like when they were younger, some more of the training that they did, because they did show a little bit of the training. No, but just on the team as a whole.
Yeah,
because
that's what I'm saying.
We didn't see Luther got injured somehow, and then
on a mission,
his dad, adoptive father,
Hargreaves,
used some DNA to heal him that kind of mutated him into
because some of the DNA was from Pogo.
Yeah, who's a talking monkey. or a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
Talking chimpanzee. So, I would have liked to seen more like on how that mission failed, and more like maybe how Ben died. And I think we could have got a better idea on the family dynamics if they would have shown us that. I mean, nobody seemed to really like anybody else in the family.
Yeah, except for Allison and Luther. They were like buddy.
Yeah, but they hadn't talked for a while.
Yeah,
so.
I wanted to see more on Allison's power because hers was really cool too. I want to know the limits of it.
Yeah, I don't know if there was.
Could she be like, I heard a rumor you turned into a cat, and the person turned into a cat?
What her power is.
Okay, so her power is when she says, I heard... Well, we don't know if she has to say, I heard a rumor.
But she does.
She does every time.
And she didn't really use her power much in season 1.
In the first season, yeah. We saw her use it 3 times, maybe.
And she had talked about using it a couple times.
Yes. But basically she'll say, I heard a rumor that you did this, or that this happened, and the person that she said it to will basically be under her control and do what she said. So I could be like, I heard a rumor that you pulled your beard, and he'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, she had a cool power.
Yeah,
and I would have liked to see that. So we had number 1, who was Luther, and he was mutated from being healed with Pogo's DNA, but it just seemed like he had super strength.
Yeah, that was.
But I was a little disappointed in his character because Hazel pretty much went toe to toe with him at one point, and Hazel is the guy that's going after number 5, and he's supposed to just be ordinary human.
Yeah,
I mean, well trained and capable
the only
of
reason
taking people out.
Left was because they dropped a chandelier on him.
Right, but he kind of went toe to toe with Luther, who not only has super strength, but also has this DNA mutation that gives him tougher skin and supposedly more strength.
Yeah.
So I didn't really care for that part of it. That was kind of a plot hole for me. But I would like to know what the limits of his strength are, because I mean, it showed him.
I want to know
punching stuff and obliterating different material.
I want to know more of why Allison didn't use her power, because I get it. She used it on her kid and stuff, and she found that morally wrong. But in situations where your entire family is getting beat up, why don't you use your powers?
So number 1 was Luther. We talked about him. Was Diego number 2?
I think so.
So Diego was number 2.
He can bend things, and he usually uses knives.
Well, it's not just bending. It's like he could... he had telekinesis. Projectiles. Yeah. Yeah. He could manipulate projectiles, so he would throw knives and then use his power to make him go around corners.
Yeah, he could throw it this way and then be like...
So
it's like a telekinetic bat.
Yeah, but I don't know if that applied to just his knives, or like if somebody threw a stick at him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. But then,
is it just
along with
stuff?
these powers too, the father, I can't remember, Mr. Hargreaves, he trained him in hand-to-hand combat. So Diego had this power, and he would
Diego's hand-to-hand combat, I think, was the most shown.
His and... I heard a rumor.
Yeah, Allison. Yeah. I keep wanting to say Alyssa.
Now, was she number 3?
Yes, I think.
Or was Ben?
No, I think Ben was 4.
Yeah.
Either way.
So she was 3. And I don't know where Hargreaves got his numbers from.
Yeah.
I mean...
maybe it was in the order of... No, maybe it was in the order of,
when he picked them up.
He bought first.
I don't know, but, I mean, number 1, Luther was number 1, and he was kind of like the de facto leader.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's how the ranking came in. But he had them numbered at a young age.
Yeah.
So.
And he tattooed them to have...
an umbrella.
Yeah. And then number 4 was Ben.
Yeah.
His power wasn't elaborated on very much, but it kind of looks like he,
had octopus tentacles
coming out of his stomach.
Yeah.
Which, like, I wanted to see more of
Yeah.
that, you know? I want to see the limits of that power. Can
Yeah.
he, like, just have an octopus come out of his stomach? What's
But
up?
he died, and they never really said how he died. So, and then number 5, I don't remember his name.
Number 5.
Is that all they ever called him?
His name was
Okay.
number 5.
So he had the time travel, not only time travel, but like space and time travel. So
Yeah, which
he could teleport himself and travel through time, but he didn't have a handle on the time travel. So other than when he traveled to the future,
until the end of this, he kind of had a handle on it more than he did at the beginning of the season.
not really.
Well, it was more than he did at the beginning.
Not really. Obviously, we'll talk about it when we get to season 2.
I know, but still.
But, I mean, yeah, it was kind of on a wing and a prayer. In season 2, he got more of a handle on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in season 1, we saw him use his time travel twice, when he went to the future and then when he came back, other than when he had the briefcases from the Handlers organization. Did they ever name that organization?
I don't think so.
And then number 6 was Klaus.
Yes.
And we talked about Klaus.
He was one of my favorite characters.
He was pretty goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He had an interesting arc. He went back in time on accident with one of the briefcases.
Yeah, because he thought it was full of money.
Yeah.
So it transported him. Which war did he fight in?
Vietnam.
Yeah.
So it was like 1969.
Yeah.
And transported him back to her 67.
Either way, he was transported back and he went into the war and he fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was back there, I think he said, for 10 months.
Yes, it was 10 months.
And
he was like, oh yeah, I was gone for almost a year.
And then number 7 is Vanya.
Yes.
Who spends most of the season not knowing that she has powers, and then the last several episodes reveals that she did have powers.
Which, my problem with stuff like that is, like, has this man never seen TV? Because in everything else where people have to, like, suppress their powers, they become super villains. So, like, what was Hargreaves trying to do, you know?
Yeah. And she ended up being the most powerful of all. Mm-hmm. She could bend sound waves, basically.
Yes.
And had no control over it whatsoever. So. But yeah, so.
Pretty good show.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yes.
Has some good characters.
Yes.
Has some good character development. I'd like to have seen a little bit more just to get a better idea of why they are where they're at in their lives.
I didn't like Leonard at all, but I mean, I guess it's kind of...
Vanya's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of...
He's dead, so we don't care about him.
Yeah. I don't think he was meant to be a likable character.
So have you seen Umbrella Academy season 1 or season 2?
If you did,
What'd
let
you
us
think?
know what you think.
What'd you think about it? Leave it in the comments. If you like our content, subscribe. If you like this video, give it a like.
Share it with your grandma, your best friend,
whatever.
anyone you know.
Yeah. Tell them to go
Walking
watch
down
Umbrella
the street,
Academy.
be like, hey. Yes, you're walking down the street. You just got to tell everyone to watch Umbrella Academy.
I am Gen X.
I'm Gen Z.
We are Generational Geeks.